Welcome to DrupalEasy Show Tell, where I attempt to use or do something in Drupal that I've never used or done before. Now, demoing things like this is something I've been doing for years during DrupalEasy office hours. DrupalEasy Show and Tell is a little bit different. I've got some expert help. Each episode, I'll have a guest that just so happens to be a subject matter expert for whatever it is that I'll be playing with. Now, before we begin, I want to make sure you know about our live online classes. We have regularly occurring sessions of our 2-week professional single directory components class, as well as our 15-week professional module development class and our 12-week Drupal Career Online beginner focused course. For specific dates and pricing, you know what to do. Head on over to DrupalEasy.com.
All right, Mario Hernandez, welcome to DrupalEasy Show and Tell. How are you doing today?
Doing good. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Sure. Well, as you know, as Mario knows, no one else knows, but I saw a blog post that you wrote on 2-3 weeks ago, however long ago, about the style options module, which I had never heard of or never used, and really kind of dug the blog post and checked it out a little bit. And I actually went to go play with it. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to play with it. I'm going to ask Mario to come on Show and Tell and show me how to play with it.
Yeah, why not, right?
Yeah. So what does this module do? What, in your words, what's the point of this module?
Yeah, so this is a module that allows you to add customization options to entities. In this case, we'll be working with paragraphs. So it will be paragraph types, so that when your editors are creating content on your website, you can provide them with options to, a background option for this component, or flip this component the opposite
styling
color
options
where they are, margin on the top, padding on the bottom, that kind of thing. Those options that a lot of times you would need to create fields for in Drupal entities. And so this one requires no fields from the point of view of Drupal entities. For those options, what you do is you manage all those options through a YAML file in the root of your theme or your module. So it's a very light way of managing this in a one place. And it works really well. The module has 3 plugins that you can use. The one that we use the most is CSS class, as you can see there. But there's other ones for background color and background image.
And they all work relatively the same, right?
Yeah, the same concept. It's just everything is managed through this YAML file, and the module comes with a nice and handy example of what this file looks like, and so that it walks you through the whole, very nicely commented on how to use it and everything. So it's worked really well for us.
Yeah, the thing that really grabbed me when I read your blog post about it was because as I was reading, I'm like, how is this different from, creating a style or a theme field, like a select list where the author, when they're authoring the paragraph, they select the style, and then you write some code in the background to take that value and apply it as a class or whatever. And yeah, you summed it up nicely, where this manages all that stuff in a single YAML file, so you don't have to add those types of field API fields to your entities.
Right. And also, data migration, right? You're not dealing with having to config, export, and all that and deal with the database. And so it's definitely a lighter way. And there are many options out there to achieve this, but this one is one that is working well for us, and I think it's growing. The ecosystem for this is growing. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, this is the blog post I was talking about. So if anybody wants more information after watching this, yeah, come to this link. I'll put it nice and large on the screen as well, and so it'd be easy for people to find. All right, so Mario and I just did some setup. So let me take folks through a little bit of the setup that we did. We're using the paragraphs module, the layout paragraphs module. We did create a couple of paragraph types, but just very basic stuff. We've got a section paragraph type that has no fields. So that one's nice and easy. And we've got a card paragraph type that has an image field and a text field. Again, nothing specific to layout option. I'm sorry, style options yet.
Right. This is just general stuff, yeah.
Right. And then we added an entity reference revision field to our basic page content type. And that's how we're going to add, this section and card paragraph to a node. And we've actually already done that. And you saw it a second ago. So here we have, this is our card component with obviously an image and some text. And if we edit that, here's our components field. And we've got our section out here, which again, it doesn't have any fields other than, select the layout.
Right.
And then within that, we placed a card paragraph type with the two fields.
And if you're wondering why the editing, screen looks that way, we're using the layout paragraphs module. And so that's one nice bonus of using that it gives you a nice interface for editors specifically.
Yeah. So this is on the basic page content type that we're using, manage form display layout paragraphs.
It's not required. It's just I like the way it's very intuitive when it comes to for editors, especially to manage content.
Yep, and we're using its widget and its formatter in this case.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Thank you for saying that. All right. So the goal here is we're going to create a style option for this card paragraph type. And it will get exposed if you edit the card.
Mm-hmm.
Right now there's just an image and text, but when we're done, there's going to be, I guess, a tab. And in that tab is going to be it's going to expose the styles that we create for this card. And all we're going to do is have the standard one, which is what you see, and then we're going to flip it so the image is on the right in the other style.
That's we already have some CSS in place for that, so.
Yes, yeah. So and we also so we have a little bit of CSS, and we'll be using this isReverse class in a few minutes. And we did override the paragraph card template file just to add a class. That's all. And other than that, it's a pretty darn fresh site.
Yeah.
Style options is enabled. I haven't done anything with it yet. And
let's should take a look at the
yeah.
So with the module, let's start. Example style file, YAML file that you can kind of look at.
Let's take a look at that. So we're going to go into, I'm going to close some of this noise that I have open. All right, so we're going to go in modules, contrib, style options.
Yeah.
And then I guess it's going to be this one, right? Example.styleoptions.yaml.
I always like to look at this because it's nicely commented and it gives you examples of the things you can do. And as I said before, if you look on line 9, it says the plugin that we are going to be using is the CSS class plugin. But if you scroll down line 24, you will see that there's also the background color, and under that lower will be the background image. So those are the 3 different plugins that you can use.
So can I, since we are only going to be doing this one, can I just, how about I copy and paste this into, here, I'm going to copy this.
Absolutely. And then there's a part at the bottom that you also need to copy, but we can do that next. The context.
Okay.
Context, yeah. So, yeah.
So I created a little custom module. So the custom module that has nothing in it other than info file.
Module or the theme. Yeah. So you need to create that style options file.
Is it
actually it is it will be the name of your module theme dot style options dot YAML.
Yeah, so mine has a little bit of a repetitiveness since I named the module DrupalEasy style options. But DrupalEasy style options dot style options dot YAML, and I'll paste that.
And if it was your theme, it will be your theme name.
Right.
And then let's
the
go
stuff
back
at the
to this, but actually
bottom.
go higher a little bit. You'll see the part where it
Oh,
says
from
context. Yeah.
context.
So from there,
Let me
this is
grab the
where
help.
you tell the module which they call them context, which pieces like layout, component,
Right.
is paragraphs you want to use the styles that you just created on. So
All right. Well, let's go through it. Take us through it from the top.
yeah, so the example class is obviously the machine name for the style you're creating. So that can be this arbitrary, you can be anything. So you can call it in this case like something like content direction or anything that makes sense, right? With the style you're trying to
How about
implement.
hard content direction? That makes
Okay.
sense. All
The
right.
CSS class is good there. Then the label is what users or editors will see. So you could say something like change the direction of the content in this car or something that makes sense to them, that when they see it, they
Right.
know exactly.
But how about so I mean all we're doing is putting the image on the left or image on the right. How about just image placement? Would that be a good one?
Yeah, right. Whatever you think
Okay.
makes sense to your users.
Okay.
Now the multiple depends, right? Do you want people to have multiple options? In this case, we don't. We just have
Yeah, we
basically,
don't.
left or right, right? And
Right,
then the
right.
options is where you specify first the label and the class you want to pass for this style. So here's
Yeah.
one thing to consider is by default, you don't want any of the options to be selected, right? Because the users will need to select it. So typically none is what you want there without
Right.
a class value, because you want that to be what you see on the drop down, right? Like,
Right.
and
Yeah,
then
this is what we see in the select list.
right.
Yeah.
And in this case, since our default state, actually you can change that to default maybe even. Our default state is what you saw earlier on the card already, right? So
That's our
that
default
requires no
state.
class, no nothing. It's just by
Right.
default the way it renders. And then so we just need to add one option. So you can call it image on the right or something like
So
that.
yeah, so maybe this should be image left
Right.
and this should be image right.
There you go. Yeah.
And then we're not going to need this one, right?
We're not gonna need that. And then the class, remember we passed in the class is reverse, right?
This is the class that we
Yeah,
want to
that's the
add.
class we want to pass. So that
So
yeah.
okay, so sorry about that.
The class
So
is
this
anything you want too. So it's
yeah. Oh, so this
whatever.
is kind of cool where does it have to be in quotes at all or probably not, right?
No, not really. As you can see, this is the way the module comes, and if you scroll
So
down, I mean, it doesn't hurt to be in quotes either. So
right.
it's
So basically what this plugin does is depending on which option is selected, it just adds the class.
correct.
So could we do something, and I didn't, could we do something, could we have multiple classes? Or would we have
Sure.
to change this to true?
Right. Yeah, if you have
Okay,
like a I
right.
don't know, yeah, radio buttons or check boxes or even a drop down where
Okay.
you allow multiple options, absolutely. Change that to
Okay.
true and
Yeah, we'll
users
leave
will
it
be
for now.
okay.
We'll keep it nice and simple for now. Okay, so this is kind of like a little, this drives the form that we're going to see when we're editing the card, right?
Right.
Okay,
So we created the style now, but we need to tell it where to use it, right?
right.
So
And
under
that's these
context,
contexts you said
yeah.
about,
So under
yeah.
context, you
Okay.
have layout. We're not going to deal with layout right now.
Oh, can I
And
delete this?
you can delete it or yeah. And then lower, if you scroll down a little bit more, you'll see where it says paragraphs, right?
Okay, so
So
can I delete this one as well?
yeah, you can.
Okay.
So paragraphs is pretty much the only thing we want to use. So
All right.
see where it says underscore defaults. That means any options you add there, any paragraph you add will automatically inherit those. Those are nice because like if you have a standard spacing, top bottom spacing for things, you can add those as default and you don't have to configure them for every single paragraph type. So that's
So
kind of nice.
wait, so hold on, let me make sure I understand this. So if I put content card direction here, then all paragraph types will have this
Correct.
available.
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
In
that's
this case, we can probably remove that.
yeah, we don't want that because we just want it for our card type, right?
Correct. So
Okay.
you can change there. So the ID for our card, the machine name is just card, right? Based on how we created that.
And let's just eyeball that just so let's do overview. So there's the machine name card. So that becomes this.
Yeah.
All
You can
right.
remove the disable. This is if you had default options and you don't want those to apply to this particular component, then you can disable those particular styles that you define as defaults.
Oh, that okay. So here, so let me go back. Yeah, let me just show this. I went back to the example one. So just to make sure I understand, if we add, a class to everything, we could remove that same class from one or two
on
if
a
we want
specific paragraphs.
with this. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, you can override
kinda
that.
cool.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
it might be beneficial to have it by default added to everything and just remove it in a couple, paragraph
Yeah.
types.
Oh, that's great. That's a handy little key right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So the options is basically what you're telling. I don't know why they call it options. I wonder that should be styles, I would think. So this is the style we created above. So card content direction.
Oh, so is this like this is like a style and a value right there?
Well, the style and whether you want to apply it or not. The values will be there in line 13.
Okay. All right.
So
if we didn't put this, if card content direction, if it's not in defaults and it's not listed here, then it doesn't show up for our paragraph.
that paragraph type will never know about it. Yeah.
So if we set up, 16 of these options, I guess it's called options here because it's called options here, right? But,
Yeah.
if we set up a bunch of these, then we can basically list the ones that we want available
Correct.
on this particular. And so the true is almost, I guess you can list all 16 and then check them on and off with true and false. Is that why there's a true there?
That's a good question. I wonder if that is a required thing because I think it expects a key value pair
Yeah.
there.
Oh, it could be. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
I don't know what the default might be, but that's a good point to find out. But because I would think that it would default to true, right? If you add something,
Yeah, it should be.
it's
No,
because you want to
that's
use
not
it.
a question for today, though.
Yeah. All right. So
All right.
let's clear the cache
All right.
and
I want to just, this is kind of cool. So, basically we've just added this file to a module that is just an info.yaml file. And
yeah,
as long
and
as
by the way, they refer to this as a developer module because there's no UI for it. All your configuration is done here.
so there's nothing in here for it.
Nothing.
Okay. All right, cool. I kind of like this though. This is now that you've taken me through it, it makes a lot of sense. And I do like the fact that you need to be in code to make changes to this.
Right.
Because the alternative, like we talked about, is use Field API to add like an image placement field. But then someone with elevated enough permissions can get in there and start monkeying around, and if they don't realize the repercussions, they could break a bunch of theming on the site. So this is kind of nice. All right, so I'm going to rebuild caches. And by the way, I'm just showing, I have my local set to show all deprecations, so those can just be ignored for what we're doing today.
Yeah.
So if we go back and edit that card, will we?
Well, if with this, let's look at it. I have to say I've never used it on a module, so I only use it on a theme. So
we're always pushing the envelope here on show and
like
tell.
To live on the edge.
Living on the edge. All right, well, let's see. So I'm going to edit my card. And not seeing it. Of course not.
You know what? Remember, we forgot one step that we needed to show our lovely viewers, which is...
Oh, yes, exactly. Good. So, walk me through it.
Yeah, so when we create a paragraph type, you may not want all your paragraphs to use this, right? So, but the ones you want, you need to set that up when the paragraph type is created. So click on that.
I think we're going to go to overview, right?
You actually need to, and then style options right there. Click that box.
Right. So this is basically like the main gate to allow
turning it on or off. for you to be able to take advantage of it. Yeah.
Right. So without this enabled,
You saw what happened.
paragraphs it doesn't matter what you put in here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like this is like the main gateway
So
to
this makes the
allow.
paragraph type aware of the style options
Right.
configuration. Yeah.
All right. So that's on the paragraph type, on the edit page,
Yeah.
style options, save. And now let's see how we did. And we're going to edit. And we're going to edit the card. And there's
And you see that
behaviors.
behavior. Mhm.
Image placement, image left, image right. So yeah, so exactly what Mario said a few minutes ago. This is basically the title of the field. Here are our two options. And I'm willing to bet if we go and inspect, and let me get rid of that. But if we look in here, oh, that's interesting. That's value 0, value 1. I
Yeah.
kind of expected this to be
The actual value of it.
yeah, but okay,
Now,
that's
by
fine.
the way, this is very, very important. And I called that out on my blog post because let's say you have a bunch of paragraph types where you already define options and users have selected those options. But later on, you say, oh, this one style needs to have a new option or one option removed or changed. The database will need to be updated to reflect what that new order might be.
Yeah. Yeah, that. I'm glad you said that. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, so if you're using this option and you've got a bunch of paragraph types or whatever that have a value configured, if you come in and add a new one in between these two,
Then
you're going
you
to
throw
throw
off,
off
yeah.
that. Yeah, so
Because now the image try becomes value 2, and the new one that
yeah.
you added there is value 1. So value 1. So that can throw off your styles, basically.
Yeah, so probably a good rule of thumb is if you need to add more, add them at the bottom.
That's good, except
Yeah,
sometimes you wanted things to be alphabetical order
right.
or whatever but yes,
Yeah,
adding it to the top to the bottom is definitely the best way to go if you
yeah.
can if it makes no difference to you where it's added. Yeah.
And you go into a lot more detail about that.
Well, I just call it out and see how I even have the
Yeah.
same right there.
Well, look at that
And I
image left.
yeah, because it's bitten me
Fantastic.
a couple of
Yeah,
times.
yeah. All right,
Um,
cool. Well, let's see it. Let's see this actually do something. So if we come here and we put image on the right, and we hit save, and we save the node, boom. And
so,
then obviously in here, we're going to see that is reversible class somewhere is reverse right there.
yeah. So the main requirement, obviously, which is you need to make sure that your template, your paragraph template, uses the attributes variable, because that's where this module uses to pass those classes.
Let me just open that up so we can eyeball that again. Where am I? Templates, paragraphs, paragraph cart. So Mario is talking about this guy
Right.
right there. So yeah, so make sure that is part of your template. Now, as we said at the top of this, this is the default paragraph template.
Correct.
We
Yeah.
we overwrote it for our paragraph type, and the only change we made was adding
Just
that.
add class. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess I mean we could have, if we didn't want to override this at all, we could have just made this, paragraph dash
Right.
dash type dash dash card or
Right. Yeah.
whatever this
Anyway,
is. Yeah,
you
double dash.
can reference your templates. Yeah. That still works. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right, cool. So, and let me just ask one more question. This was great. This is exactly what I was hoping for. So these other two plugins, um, are we setting, if we use one of the other ones, obviously instead of class, are we giving like a color string for this
Yeah.
one
This
and a
one,
URL for that one?
I really haven't used this, but yeah, the other one, if you look at the original example file that
Yeah,
came with the module,
oh, of course. Yeah,
you
I
can
totally
actually
forgot.
provide like a color picker for the background color. You see how the palette there?
Oh, there's a lot more settings there. Holy
Yeah,
cow.
this one is a lot more So I haven't really used this much because we use a different way to add background colors on our theme, which to us is a lot simpler.
And the background image one, so this is interesting as well. So
Hmm.
it just has, so where do you actually specify what the images are? That's an interesting one.
Yeah, that one I also have not used it. We haven't really had the need,
Yeah.
luckily, to do that.
Honestly, though, I mean, the background color and the background image, those feel like sub, like this, I would have been perfectly happy if this is the only, if the CSS class
That's
is the
all we
only thing.
use, really.
That's all you
That's
really
all.
need, I think,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Because you can, well, yeah, you can do these other ones with CSS
yes,
classes. That's what I
right.
was trying to say. Yeah.
Like another way that we do is we create a new style, just like we did for the card, and with the
Hmm.
options are, like purple, black, right? And so when you select those, the user select those, you just pass in the class, and then you have your styles already, your CSS
Exactly.
ready to go for that. So
Yeah.
it's just much lighter. There are other ways. The layout
Yeah.
options is another one that not only works with paragraph type, but it also works with blocks. So that one, it might be something I call that out also in
Right.
the blog post at the bottom. That is that one that we use this one in combination with layout options, but that's outside of the
Right.
scope of this demo. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can do this. I mean, the cool thing is this works with any content entity, right?
Well,
So,
this one, can we go back to the project page? I think this one is the
it's
entire
like
web.
layout options, but is it layout option? Is it like layout options plus an integration?
Yeah, so
Um,
I guess the equivalent for blocks is layout options. This one,
okay.
because of the
Well, no, but this is so this one works with paragraph types and layouts. So
yeah,
not any entity. Okay.
yeah. The other one, the layout options is the one that you want for um for other things like blocks and things. So you can see here.
Okay.
Um yeah.
And do they do I don't I'm throwing this at you at the last minute, but do they work similarly both with a special YAML file or is this a whole
Yes,
different thing?
same way. The exact
Oh,
same
okay.
way. You have a YAML
Okay.
file and you do the configuration based on
Okay.
their syntax and exactly the same way.
Cool. All right.
Um,
Well,
but yeah.
I think we've covered the basics. Is there anything else that we should know about this?
No, no, there's quite a bit more you can do. We manage a pretty large platform, a Drupal platform, and this is what we use for our entire platform wide configuration of this kind of options, just because it's easy to manage, as you saw. I mean, you just
Yeah.
follow the YAML file and no need to be exporting configuration or maintaining that.
Yeah.
And it's it works.
It just works.
It just works.
It
Yeah.
just works. All right, cool. Well, Mario, thanks so much for your time today and walking me through this. I appreciate it. And
You're
yeah,
welcome. Thank you for having me.
of course.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. Don't forget, if you have a need for professional Drupal training, be sure to check us out at DrupalEasy.com.